All right, I think we'll get started. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. And yeah, last time we talked about recursion and we finished up our game. Today we're gonna talk about inheritance and classes. So we'll start with that. So yeah, kind of maybe like start with like what is a class. Um, so we talked about a couple of different data types so far, right? We talked about strings, we talked about integers, we talked about booleans, um, and so yeah, this is another boolean. Or we also talked about hash maps, right? So yeah, let me recap that again. We talked about strings, booleans, numbers, hash maps, right? Today we're going to talk about objects. So yeah, and we're going to talk about classes. So what is an object? We've already been working with them in the project. If you remember, like we were using that class called Sprite for our image of Makan and for image of Krishna, like the ability to make it move and everything like that, right? So we were using a class called Sprite for that, and then that Sprite like is an object. So yeah, today we're gonna learn more about objects and classes and inheritance. So yeah, let's get started. So I'll be using this today. Like this is really it's like an editor for P5.js, and it's really easy to share your code and things like that. So yeah, when we start, we can do this. We just have in the beginning we just have a blank screen, right? All right. So let's create our first class. We're going to create a class called circle. All right.
I think you forgot to share.
Oh yeah. Let me share. Yeah. All right. Let me just do that in the Chrome tab. All right. So yeah, everyone can see the screen. Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, coming back here. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this editor.p5.js, and it's like a really easy way for us to write our JavaScript code and share it. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about objects and classes. So we're gonna create our first class. We're gonna create a class called a circle. And then for every class, the first thing you need to do is you need to create a constructor. In the constructor, you can basically like define all the elements or variables that you want to store in your class. So for example, we'll define 3 different variables: x, y, this.x, this.y, and this.diameter. We'll make everything equal to 20. Alright. And then we'll also create a method for the circle called display. And this is referring to the P5.js's function. Alright, so yeah, we have our class called circle, right? And then let's use this. So how do we? It's called instantiation, or when you create an object out of this class. So we'll do it in the setup. Okay, so we define a variable, let C, right? And then we'll do C is equal to new circle, all right? And then in our draw, we'll do C dot display. All right. So as you can see, it created a circle in the top left corner, right? So what is happening when we run this code? So over here, we've defined our class, right, circle, and we're saying we define this code in the constructor, and we define this code in the display method. So over here we defined a variable, and on line 18 we said C equals new circle. So what happens when we do this? What it does is it creates an object out of the using the circle class, and the first thing it does is it runs the code in constructor. So it constructs your object, and what it will do is it'll say like, okay, c.x is equal to 20, c.y equals 20, and c.diameter. So this c variable is an object that has three different parameters, or like it has three different variables inside it, and it also can run this display function. So let's see, we can probably see it in console.log. All right, let's see. If we go to the bottom, maybe. Okay, yeah, let me, 1 second, let me share that. Oh. I'm changing the sharing. Okay, so yeah, coming back here, we had that Chrome thing. So I was showing you, okay, what is like inside C. So C is an object of type whatever circle, right? And then we can see that, okay, these are all the different properties of circle. There's a diameter property. It's like all these three variables are numbers that has like a value of 20, 20, 20, right? And then if we look at this, it says like proto, that shows like what is inside the object, like what can it do. So it shows like, okay, we have this display function also. We can do, what is that? How do you... Yeah. So yeah, you can see like it's an object, right? But yeah, okay. So let's see. Well, what more can we do with this class? So we saw that we can create a constructor, we can define some variables, and then we can also create like a function. So let's create another class now. We're going to create a class called colored circle. Okay. And then we want this colored circle to extend from circle. Okay. Yeah. So what does that do? That means that that circle is the parent class, and colored circle is the subclass. So the benefit of that is that colored circle gets all the properties of circle by inheriting it. So it inherits all the properties of circle. So how do we use that? Let's say, okay, let's say we just do this. We don't create any functions. then we can say, okay, C is now not circle, but it's colored circle. All right. So now we're saying C is like a type of colored circle. And nothing breaks with our code. Everything works, properly. Even though we didn't define the constructor, we didn't define display, because colored circle has inherited all that from circle. But let's say like we want to override something, right? So we'll do constructor. And we'll say we want to have a bigger diameter. And we'll do the same thing for X and Y. And sorry, the first thing you need to do is you need to call super. And what super does, it says it first calls the constructor of the parent class, and then you can make any modifications you want to the variables, or create new variables, different things like that. And then let's create a class called color. So and we'll pass it a variable. And then we'll call the parents class display function. And let's name this color display, right? Oh, I think we made a mistake. Oh, yeah, we didn't pass in our color. All right, and now you see it created a circle that is blue, right? Because we passed in blue. And let's say we pass in orange. Let's see what will happen. See, we got an orange circle now. Let's see, that's still same in the middle, right? Let's bring it somewhere down. And let's make this a bigger circle too. All right, cool. All right. So now we gave our colored circle class more properties, more abilities, right? We can create different colored types of circles. And now let's do another class. Okay. We're going to create a class called random circle, and it extends colored circle. All right. So let's say we don't want to change anything, so we're not going to create a constructor. We'll just use the one from our parent, and we'll create a function called a random display. Okay. Okay. And then we'll set a random position for x, and we'll do 0 to width of the screen, and this dot y equals random 0 to the height. And then let's do the same thing for diameter. Let's see if that works. And then let's also create a randomized color picker, right? So we'll do let colors and define an array. And we'll say, okay, blue, red, green, orange, pink, and then we'll call this dot colored display, and then we'll say, oh wait, we need an index too. Then we need to make sure this is an int. Okay, and then I need to change one more thing. This line of code is saying, okay, only display 10 times in 1 second. So okay, let's see what happens now. So we're gonna say C is now a random circle, and we're gonna do random display. So yeah, what do you guys think is gonna happen with this code? So for what we're going to do in the first line is we'll choose a random x position, then we'll choose a random y position, then we'll choose a random diameter between 50 to 100, and then we define like certain colors that we can use, 5 different colors, and then we'll say, okay, pick a random color out of that, and then using the color display function of the parent class, display a circle of that color. And then we have the randomized x, y, and diameter. Okay, so let's see what happens. There we go. We see, all these different colors, all these different sizes of circles that are showing up. Let me slow it down a little bit more. Frame rate 5. There we go. All right, so that's pretty cool, right? So we have our parent class is circle. Then we have the subclass of that called colored circle. And then we have the subclass of that called random circle. So, colored circle, it inherits all the different properties and all the different functions of circle. And especially we're inheriting the display function. And then, in colored circle is also overriding the constructor. First we are calling super to make sure we run the parent class's constructor, and then we do whatever overrides we want. And then we have this function to do a colored display, right? And then we're also using the method from the parent class. And then random circle is now the like, if you think of the chain, like this is the parent, or this is the grandparent, this is the parent, and this is the child or the grandchild, right? So this is the second subclass. So parent class, subclass, and then subclass of the subclass. And then in this one we have the random display function added to everything else. So let me show you in the console.log again. aspect. Yeah, see. We see C is of type random circle. And it has, the properties of diameter, x and y. And if we go into the proto, we see it has a constructor, it has a random display function, right? And then if we go to, if we go to proto circle, that's showing its parent class, and we get the colored display function there, right? And this is the constructor of the colored circle class. And if we keep on going, okay, now we see the display function. So from the grandparent, it's inheriting display. From the parent, it's inheriting colored display. And then random circle has the random display. So we're getting all these functions inherited, handed to us, right? Good, okay. So yeah. So does anyone else have any more questions? Yeah. So yeah, you guys just could see my screen, right? Hello? Yeah, okay, good. So yeah, so that was a little bit about classes, right? Yeah. So yeah, I showed you about classes and inheritance. So yeah, let's take maybe another example for inheritance. Let me show that. So this was, we did an example with called random circle, right? We can do another example. Well, let's say we have a pet shop, or let's say we have, or let's say a grocery or a restaurant. Okay, so class restaurant, or I guess hotel is more apt, or eatery. Okay, sure. So we have a class called eatery. So what are all the different we can sort of model some of the different aspects of a restaurant. So this dot menu, right? We'll make that an array, and we can say that can be a array of objects. Let's say what else? This dot capacity equals, let's say every restaurant should at least have a capacity of 1, right? And then we can say so yeah, we have a menu, we have a capacity, we have let's say this dot staff or chefs. Or yeah, let's make it generalized to staff. Right? We have at least one staff, right? So we have a menu, a capacity, and a staff. Okay. And then what can the eatery do? We'll give it maybe 3 different functions. Let's say list menu. And then what we'll do in there is we will let's use the text function. do all right, so and we can say, like, at least in our menu we'll have one thing, and that is water. And then let's do another one for prices, right? And we'll say water is free. Yeah, we want this spacing applied to. Okay. So yeah, let's try to use this. So we'll try to do it in the same way. We'll say let's see, and we'll say C is a eatery. Okay, and then we'll do C.list menu. So we created a constructor. In the constructor we have a menu, we have prices, we have a capacity, we have a staff. Okay, and then let's see. We have some issues. Okay, let's see. Let's try to debug the issues. X is not defined. Oh, for X in. Okay, yeah, let X. Okay. All right. Oh, I think we have an issue with the coloring. Okay. That's weird. Or let's try to do it the other way. So yeah, we have water in our menu, but for some reason it's not displaying it. Okay. Let's try to do some debugging. So yeah, we have a whatever 0, right? We know we have at least one element. Okay, there we go. And okay, but we see like the words are kind of overlapping each other. Oh, prices we want, right? We'll do water and 0, and let's make this black. This is a 90. So, okay, we have our menu. We're trying to display a menu. We have item, and then we have price, right? Let's do... Okay, yeah. So we created our eatery class, and then now we have a list menu function. Okay, and then yeah, let's try to fix the issue with the for loop, right? That is just so weird, right? When we're trying to... Let's see what's happening in our console. All right. When we do c.list menu, what is happening? Okay, I think that was the... Okay, there we go. All right, good. We fixed our issue. Okay, so we're displaying our menu, and then we have the item and the price. Okay. So we have an eatery with a list menu function. Okay. And then let's say we want to do something like increase capacity. And then we can say by the number. Then we'll do this dot capacity plus equals number. And then we'll also do a decrease capacity function. And then we'll make sure, like, okay, if this dot capacity is less than 0, we'll always set it to, or is less than 1, we'll always set it to 1. Alright, so we created two functions, increase capacity, decrease capacity, and then we can do one function for what are raise prices. We can give it a number. Alright, let's do n. Raise prices n, and for this we'll do the same type of thing. Okay. For do this dot prices And then we'll do so that'll add a number to our prices, and then we'll do lower prices also. So yeah, okay, we've thought of different things that our a basic eatery can do. We can increase capacity, decrease capacity, we can raise prices, we can lower prices. We can also, let's say we want to add a menu item, and we'll say if we want to add a menu item, we need two variables, name and price. And then we can do yeah, let's see. Or we have to do this. Alright, yeah, let's see. Let's try and see what we get, what issue we get. So we add a function for add menu item and remove menu item. If we want to remove menu item, okay, so that'll be a little bit more difficult. We'll have to do something like we'll have to loop through the menu item's name, the menu, and then let's say if our menu item is equal to the name we have, we can remove it. So we'll do and then we can so we'll clear that menu item, and this dot prices of X is also we'll clear for now. Alright, so yeah, we have those, and then okay, let's do one for also staff. This staff. Right, so we'll add to the staff, we'll remove from the staff, and we'll say there will always be at least one staff, the owner, right? So now kind of just showing like how this could be used in a real company, right? Like how can we model like a real whatever system. So let's say like we're trying to make a software to manage restaurants. So like you can think of, okay, what are the different use cases for them, what are like the important functionality that they want. So that way we'll model our objects to hold all the functions, all the informations that they want, or all the information they want. So like I told you, like we have a eatery class that initializes some of the basic information about a restaurant, and then we're giving them functionality like increase your capacity, decrease your capacity, increase your staff, decrease your staff, raise prices, lower prices, add menu items, remove menu items. You can list menu, right? And we can, okay, let's do another function. We can say get open spots, right? We can do something called get open spots, and that'll say what is the, or get open spots, and we can say that'll return the whatever current capacity. Other things we can do, we can say like, okay, how many orders can we handle at once? We can say something like, or what was the speed? We can do something like that. Get wait time, right? So we'll say like, oh, how long do they have to wait to get their food or something like that. We can say, okay, based on the number of staff, return, so let's say like 10 minutes or whatever divided by the number of staff or something like that, right? So we can create, these types of whatever different functions in our classes. And then let's say, okay, we create a class called class bakery extends eatery. So when we create that class called bakery, it automatically gets all these functions it can do. And then we can add some, we can override some things, or we can add some things like, okay, we can like do something like a bakery, you can place an order for a cake or something like that, right? So let's say we can create a function called place cake order, and then we can create like more variables. And bakery has a little bit different model. It's not just serving as people come in. You also take pending orders, right? So we can do this pending orders. So these are just like some examples of like, okay, how do we model different systems? How do we model using classes and objects? All right. I think, for me that was about it for today. Does anyone have any questions? I guess we can go over recursion one more time too. We didn't do that recap. So okay, let's do a recap for that. Maybe we'll do something with displaying. What is a recursive function? Recursion basically means something that you like calls itself, right? So function, we had this thing called function count, right? And you can pass in any number, and let's say it could do something like if number, or if n If n is less than 1, it'll return n. Otherwise, we'll do return n plus n minus 1. So this is an example of a recursive function, and this is called tail recursion because we're doing our recursive call at the end. So let's say we pass in like number 10 in there. So what we'll do is, okay, it'll say, okay, 10 plus, okay, what is my count of? 9. And then we'll keep on doing that until it gets to, either 1 or 0, right? And then it will return that number. But the thing is, like, that we talked about, that this will create lots of like duplicate calls. Because when it hits 9, it'll do this whole process again until it gets to 1. When we call it on 8, it'll do that whole process again. So there's a technique called memoization, right? Let memo equal, let's say we'll create a map, and then so if n is less than or equal to 1, or we can do here, if n in memo, then we'll return memo out of n. Right, and otherwise we'll do yeah, we can also initialize this. Else we'll do something like that, right? So yeah, this is kind of just an example of, okay, a recap of what we did last time of recursion, and then we talked about, okay, this is tail recursion because we're calling our recursive process at the end, and we're also using memoization so we don't do repetitive work. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming, and yeah, hopefully let's continue. All right, bye everyone. Thank you.